this is the start of a tutorial or a number of tutorials where we're going to be covering writing beautiful mobile apps using Python and especially Python's Kivy package. And Kivy has sort of like a sister project or a fork called KivyMD, which stands for Kivy Material Design. Now, material design, if you don't know, is one of Google's standards to create beautiful apps and intuitive apps. So you can just Google material design and you'll see this is Google's page and they tell you all about it and how to make everything look nice. And material design is basically a set of widgets that just works really well together. They work really well together. So KivyMD, someone has taken the time to put together all these beautiful custom widgets and make them all available in one package. So here's an example of the demo using KivyMD after we've downloaded it. And you can see things look super nice here. So we've got all of these nice menus and buttons and screen transitions. And the demo here, this demo app, shows you all of the widgets that you have access to. So all of these are material design standards that the KivyMD project lets you use pretty much out of the box. And it's super nice. So, okay, here's the demo, the example. This is what we'll have running at the end of this video. Now let's get into how to download and install KivyMD. So first thing we need to do is go to Google and just do KivyMD, search for it. And now we're going to go down to this one from Heat Theater on GitHub. And all we need to do is clone the repository. So I'm going to copy this. So I'll copy the URL. And then I've got a terminal window here. And I need to do sudo git clone. And then I'll paste the URL that I copied here. Okay, so that'll take a minute. Oops, put in your password. And by the way, guys, you have to be using Python 3 for KivyMD. So Python 2 will not work. So you need to make sure you have Python 3 installed. And that's what we'll be using for this entire series. Okay, so I'll pause and come back when I'm finished with this. Okay, now I've finished cloning the repository. So if I just do an ls in my directory, or a dir if you're in Windows, you can see that you've got this KivyMD folder, and that means that we've cloned it. Okay, so I'll cd in there, and I'll look at the files again, and now I need to run this Python. I need to run this setup.py. So looking on the instructions on the GitHub page, I need to do sudo python /setup.py. Okay, so this file, the setup file, and then install. Oops, okay, and so I got an error here. If you get this error, that means that you're not using Python 3, so you try to do it with Python 2. So make sure you're using Python 3, otherwise this won't work, okay? So there we go, Python 3, and we've set it all up. All right, so if I ls again, everything should be working. So let's just go into the demos folder, and I'll look in there. So Kitchen Sink is the name of that demo app that I showed in the start of the video. So I'll cd in there, and I'll look at the files, and I can see main.py. So probably what I need to do is sudo python 3, don't forget, main.py, and we'll open it, and you can see here we are. And one also great feature about this is the people who've made KivyMD, I'll show you an example. Depending on the screen size, some of the widgets change. So like if I go down here to pickers, and I open my date picker, see how the date is over here on the left? So maybe this is like an iPad in landscape mode or something. Now if I go like this and try to mimic an iPhone, look, the data's on top. So there's some really clever things that are in here, and things just work with KivyMD once you get past a couple little bugs, because it is like in an alpha or beta status. So there's a couple little bugs to watch out for, but overall things work super nice, and depending on like the screen size, everything changes. Make sure it always looks good. So stay tuned. We'll get into a lot of these widgets. So probably be a long series if I go over most of these. And just so you know, a couple of these don't work for like iOS, or maybe not on your desktop. They're like Android specific, but that's not many of them. Okay, so thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more videos on KivyMD. Oh, and by the way, if you want to see a couple apps that I've published or other people have published with KivyMD, I'll put a link to them in the description, so go check them out.